So, I've been subjected to dad jokes all weekend, and if you are looking to turn your hobby into a career, stick around. Hey, it's Byron Phillips from byronphillipsmedia.com, and today we're going to be talking about setting up a new business and turning your hobby into a full-time career or a part-time career that will help supplement the job that you are currently doing now. So the reason why I'm setting this series up is that I'm currently in the position where I'm about to turn 40, and I ask myself the question, do I still want to be doing this job when I'm 50? And the answer was no. And many of you may be in that position, not necessarily turning 40, you lucky buggers. You might be turning 50. But the point is that you might be at a point in your life where you are no longer happy doing what you're doing and you want a more creative change. So how do you go about doing that? For me, it was the idea that I wanted to be a freelance videographer and have a business that I could leave my family. Now, in order to achieve that, I knew that I didn't want to be doing this job when I was 50, so I set myself a 10-year goal. Now, some of you might be thinking, that's a long way away, but you have to think of it logistically. It took me up until this point in my life to get extremely proficient at the job that I'm doing now. So for me to say that I'm just going to turn my hobby to be competitive in the real world in a year's time is not going to be realistic. Most of us are going to have to really work hard at it. Certainly I'm going to have to work really hard at it because there's a lot of talent out there. Now, the first tip that you're going to need to do is actually commit to the idea that you're going to want this change. Don't flip-flop with it, and don't be in and ahhing. If you're no longer happy and you don't wake up excited to do your job, change. So you need to start with the idea of what you want and commit to that idea. So you're all fired up and you're ready to go and you want this now. So for the time being, I would err on the side of caution and just curb it for a second, because that is exactly what I was doing, and I was getting very, very frustrated because I wanted the change now. The problem was I hadn't worked out how much consistent time I could actually dedicate to making the change, and I was inconsistent and I was getting nowhere. So for a period of a month I was literally getting nowhere because I wasn't really setting aside the time, the consistent time, and that is key. So whatever consistent time is for you, that could be one night a week, it could be 2 nights a week, it could be a Sunday, or it might mean that you've got to get up an hour earlier every morning before you go to work and see to the family, and that's what you've got to do. Whatever is consistent for you, that's what you need to do. Now for me, I like going to the gym. So rather than doing that in the morning or the evening, which is eating into my time, there's a gym right across the road from where I work. So I do that in lunchtime. So I've now consolidated that as part of my daily work and routine. That means I'm no longer wasting 5 hours in the evening or the morning on gym. I can actually dedicate that to something else. Now, for me, consistently, I can hit a Tuesday night and a Sunday night. And there will be times where I might get up earlier in the morning, an hour earlier, but it really depends on how tired I am. So don't try and burn yourself out. Don't try and kill yourself. Get in there. Be realistic with what you consistently do. Make sure you're healthy and you're happy and you can consistently hit a goal. There's no point killing yourself for something that you're not really going to enjoy when you get it. So, tip number 2, dedicate yourself to consistent time that you can actually achieve and actually enjoy. So you've decided on a consistent schedule that you can stick to, and you're wondering what the next step is. Now, the next step for me was that I needed a foundation. I needed a place where I could showcase all my work. Now, at the time, I didn't have a website or anything like that. So that is the next step that you've got to do. because you want somewhere that you can direct your clients to in order to say, look, go here, this is the look and feel, this is all my content, this is what I'm capable of. You need that. So that is the third tip. You need to find a platform that will support you in your new business. And by support you, I mean support your growth. So right now you are in the infancy stage, like myself. So I don't need to sell LUTs or any transition packs or any merchandise. I'm not at that level yet, but I want to be. In the future, I would like to be at that level. Now you need to pick a platform that allows you to grow and do that and support you along that. I've chosen mine and you need to choose yours. So spend the time that you have scheduled for yourself looking into which platform suits you. Do you go with a website? Do you go with Instagram? Are you going to stick with Facebook because you have a better community there? That is entirely up to you, but it needs to support you and your business from now through to the future. So that's tip number 3, find your foundation. So the big caveat about turning a hobby into a full-time career is that you need to know which area you're going to be going down or what avenues that you would like to investigate or explore. Now, when I set this up, I had no idea which area that I was going to look at. So for you, you might be very interested in like weddings, or you might be interested in like the more action sports area, and that is fantastic. As long as you know what your niche is, then the next step that you need to do is have a look at the content that you've got for those areas and ask yourself, if you were a customer, would you hire yourself? Now for me, I had no content, so the question, it was simple. I need to make content. For you, it might be slightly different. So you really need to be very objective with your own work, because just because you think your work is good doesn't mean everybody else does. It's a very, very subjective field. So analyze the content you've got and really, really look at it and go, is this the best that I could do? Because if you say no, then redo it. And that is why you need to schedule the time and be consistent, because now you need to make content for your chosen area. Now for me, I didn't know which area I was going to choose, so I went with product, real estate and business. Now no content at all, so I spent a couple of months building that content up, and I managed to get products done. I got one real estate video done, and I've got nothing for business. But I felt the website was complete enough that I decided, okay, there's enough here to showcase what I've got. I can always build this up in the future as I'm moving on, and that is what I've done. So the tip 4 is decide your subject area and commit to it, and if you don't have any content, this is the time where you need to spend making that, so that it shows you in the best possible manner. So you've been pouring over the last couple of months on the content, the website, the details, how everything looks. The next thing you need to do is make it live. Now, it could be a case of that you don't have all the content that you want done. Things are not quite as you planned. But my advice to you would be, set a date in which you are going to go live and hit it. Even if you don't have all the content that you want right now, my advice would still be hit it. One of the mistakes that I felt that I made is that I didn't set a date on when I wanted to go live with this website, and I run over. Well, I'd say I went over by 2 months that I felt I could have gone live because I was procrastinating, or I was umming and ahhing over minor details that didn't really, or not going to really make a massive impact. So I could have gone live a lot sooner, and that is the next tip. Set a date for your website or whichever platform that you are on, and stick to that. Get as much content and go live on that date. So now it's time to get your game face on, and you need to start looking for prospective clients. Now, the way that I would suggest that you do this is look at local businesses. For me, what I have gone and done is that I am in the fortunate position that my current job allows me to work for free. So I have set out a period of a year where I am trying to build up the network as much as I can. And one of the ways that I'm doing this is that I've gone onto Instagram and I am looking at local businesses. Now, the irony is not lost to me, but I'm currently starting with hairdressing. Shh, I know, but that is the area that I'm looking at. Now, what I have done is that I've gone onto Instagram, like I said, and I am looking at businesses in this field. And what I'm doing is, if there is a site that I like the look of, I'm actually going to their website and actually seeing how much content they have, and then asking myself the question, do I feel that I can offer these people a good service? Would having my work done for free improve their website or improve their Instagram content? If the answer is yes, then fundamentally get in contact. Send them a message and say, look, I am starting a business up. I'm currently in a position where I am working for free. I've checked your website out and that I really like what you guys are doing, and I would actually like to be a part of this, and I would wonder if you would like me to create some content for your Instagram or your web page, and this would be a free service. Just message people and see what comes back. Now, on the day that my website went live, I spent a good night looking at different businesses, and I messaged 3, and one have come back with a yes. Now, the other 2 haven't even gotten back, and you're going to expect that. So that is the next tip. Look for businesses that are local to your area that have a good network, because once you get in with that network, then it becomes word of mouth, and that's invaluable. And also, working for free is going to give you an experience that you just can't buy. So that is the next tip, is find your business local, offer your services for free, and yeah, try that. So you're really excited, you've got your first customer, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to carry on hitting Instagram, hitting up all the businesses, checking people's websites, and doing all the things that you've been doing to get new customers. Now, my advice to you would be is to stop. You need to make sure that you provide this customer the very best service that you can. That means prepping, that means understanding their needs, and exactly them knowing what they're going to be getting out of the content that you're going to provide. You need to get all that nailed, and that is going to come with practice, but you want to make sure that you spend the time doing this. So my advice and the final tip would be, once you find your first customer, stop with the advertising and nail it. Nail the service. Make sure you provide great goods, but make sure you provide excellent service. So that's all we got for this video, guys. If you have any suggestions, please comment below. In the next video, we are going to be going through what you can do to prep for your first customer, and this will be a sharing and learning experience that we can go through together. So thank you for joining. It's been a pleasure. My name is Byron Phillips, and see you next time.